Hi you guys, my name is Cyan Gore and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For today's video, I'm going to be reading a lot of Taylor Jenkins Reid books for the week, and that is because I have 4 on my TBR and because I know that this is an author that I love. I have only read 2 of her books, which were The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and this one, and I really liked them. So I don't know why I haven't read more, but I just haven't, and I do have 4. That's what I'm going to be doing this week, is just reading these. The first one that I have is actually Daisy Jones and the Six, which I have watched the show, so that might kind of ruin this experience for me, but I'm still gonna read it. And then I have Malibu Rising. I also have After I Do, as well as Carrie Sodtos Bag, and I'm actually gonna start off with Carrie Sodtos Bag because this one's just calling my name, and it's the one that was actually chosen for my TBR this month. This is what we're starting off with. I do not believe that you have to read her books in a particular order. I'm pretty sure that they just have some overlap in characters and timelines because they all take place in the same universe, but you don't have to read them in a certain order, and they're not series. It's just sometimes the characters know each other. So we're starting off with this one. Yeah, that's it. Let's start it. I have made it to page 94 of Carrie Sodtos Bag, so I'm about 25% of the way through. In this story, we are obviously following none other than Carrie Sodto. Carrie Sodto, back in the mid to late 80s, was the best women's tennis player that there was. She was absolutely ruthless. However, she was known to the public and the press and other tennis players to kind of have this cold demeanor. She's not the best to be around, right? So far, we are learning where she started off from, the very beginning of her career, and how she worked her way up to becoming the best. One thing I do like about it is that it went very quickly. It was like, boom, this is how she got introduced to tennis. Boom, this is her when she started to win. Boom, this is her when she literally became the best. Boom, this is her when she retired. Because she does retire. But now, she is 37 years old. She's been retired for 5 years. She decides that she wants to come back. And the reason why is because there is another up-and-coming young tennis player, and she is on track to beating Carrie Sodto's record. So she's gonna come back, defend her title, and that's all I have so far, because right where I'm at, she just announced that she's going to be coming back. So I'm sure we're gonna see more what happens with that. But one thing I like is that her father is her coach. Dad is like just trying to live through their child. It's not that way in this one. I feel like her dad is actually just very sweet and like wants the best for her. Because the thing is Carrie wants to win and be the best so bad. He doesn't even really push her that hard. If he does, it's because that's what she wants. Right now, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of feel like Carrie doesn't even really like tennis.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I think she just likes being number 1. That I'm kind of at odds with. I do hope to see some character development. I'm sure we will, because TJR writes very complex characters. And another thing that I like about her is that she always has some kind of life lesson in her book. I'm sure this one is going to be that winning isn't everything, you know, because that just seems like the obvious choice. But I'm excited to see what happens. So far, I have 0 complaints. I'm only 94 pages in. It's going good. I don't know how she does it, but she just makes it to where not much is happening, but I'm not bored at all. I am on page 274 of Carrie Sodtos Bag, and it's so strange because it's like not a lot is happening, but a lot is happening. Where we left off at, I told you she's going to have a comeback. The issue is that she still needs to train, right? But she needs to train with someone who is on her level or close to it, not her dad because he's getting older and everything. No one wants to train with her except for one guy named Bow, I think. It's Bowe. For some reason, I want to say Bowie, but I know it's not Bowie. I'm pretty sure it's just Bow. But anyways, she's going to be training with him. He was like the hot shot of tennis. Very attractive, but he had a fiery personality. Anytime something didn't go his way, he would pitch a fit on the court.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
And he was also known to be a ladies' man. At one point in the past, they have hooked up, but that was it. And so now they're going to be training together, so there is a romance in here. And of course, we're seeing them training. We're seeing them do a bunch of different competitions. I'm learning things about tennis. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and be like, yeah, this book isn't about tennis, or if you don't like tennis, you're not going to like this, because I don't know. Like, it is about tennis, obviously.
Who would have thought? Not me.
And we're seeing her matches. We're seeing her training. There's just so much more going on, but everything else that's going on is such people-driven information that it's even hard to tell you what else is going on. So this might be a very confusing review, but I can say that I am loving it. I still haven't seen very much growth from Carrie Sodto, and we're literally in the last 25% of the book now. I feel like she's kind of the same, only cares about winning, only cares about being the best. But one thing I do like is that she's losing. She's not immediately going in and winning every single match, even though she was the best. I think number one, Carrie might need to be humbled a little bit, but number two, it would just be boring if she went in and straight away won everything. Where I'm at now, she's actually about to compete in the Wimbledon, I think is like the number one competition that she wants to win, and it's also what's gonna determine if she keeps her record or whatnot. So this is going to be very important because she's been winning and losing. I have no idea which way this is gonna go. She could win, have some character development, or she could lose and still have some character development. Whatever the outcome is, her reaction is going to determine how I feel about her character. Because if she loses and just like spirals because she lost, I'm not really gonna like her. But if she loses and she, you know, learns a thing or two from there and is like,
oh, okay, whatever, maybe the next one,
then I'll like her. If she wins and is like super braggy, I won't like her. If she wins and is like come to the realization of what was all of this for, then I will like her. I have no idea where this could go, so I'm interested to see. Let's finish it up, see what happens at the Wimbledon. Okay, wow. So the last 25% of this book went in a completely different direction than I thought it was going to. Number one, the Wimbledon was not the last moment. Because like I thought originally this whole book was building up to her competing at the Wimbledon, but there's actually the US Open. I don't know which one's more important, but after Wimbledon she competed in the US Open. Yeah, I just thought I would tell you. The character growth that I wanted, I did get from here. And I'm so glad that I got that. I could actually see her start opening up more. Of course, there's the romance in there. And her love interest was just perfect. She just needed someone who got her. And I feel like Bo got her. I also loved how her relationship with her father started to go more into a father-daughter relationship instead of just being coach and athlete. She did open up more with friendships as well, so she started to become friends with her manager as well as one of the competitors. And like that's only two people, but honestly, I have two friends, so I don't blame her there. Throughout the first 75%, I thought,
okay, this is good, it's probably going to be a 4-star.
But I think I need to bump it up to a 5 because this was just so good. And again, it's not much happening, but it was still so interesting and like it's so hard to describe. But anyways, I really enjoyed it. It's a 5-star for me, and I will say, if the tennis aspect scares you, don't let it, because yes, this book obviously revolves around tennis, and she does explain like match point, yada yada yada. You're seeing her compete in the brackets and stuff. It didn't feel repetitive or boring, even though we were getting competition after competition after competition. And another thing is that I don't know anything. about tennis at all. I just know there's a yellow ball and you hit it back and forth. Try not to let it go out.
Go, Kylie, go!
That's as far as my knowledge reaches, and I was still able to understand what was going on in here. There was a sad little bit at the end, and I literally gaslit myself because in the very beginning I was like,
Oh no, I feel like this is gonna happen.
but then I told myself,
No, that's not gonna happen. It's probably not gonna happen.
and then when it did end up happening, it made it hit 10 times harder, and I got more emotional than I was expecting. So this one was a good one. I'm glad it's what we started off with, but now I'm going to start the second one. I actually don't want to. I think I'm gonna save it for tomorrow, but in my head the one that I want to read next is actually going to be Malibu Rising, so we'll start this tomorrow. I have made it to page 92 in Malibu Rising. In this book, we are following the Riva family. We have Nina, who is a supermodel. Jay is a professional surfer. Hud, short for Hudson, is a photographer. And then Kit is the youngest sibling. Don't really know much about her. It just kind of seems like maybe she's living in her siblings' shadows. All we've really heard is that she's never been kissed.
Don't rush me, Katie. I'm just not ready.
That's great. To top all that off, their father is a very famous singer named Mick Riva. We have actually heard of him. I'm pretty sure we've heard of him in The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, if you've read that one. I think. I'm not quite sure, but I'm also pretty sure. So because, you know, there's a surfer and a supermodel, they run in circles with a lot of famous people, and every single year they host a very big party. It's one where there's no invitations. It's just if you know the address, you get to go. A lot of famous people show up. A lot of crazy things happen. It's been in the press and everything. This party is coming up on this day. However, we're also getting the siblings' backstory, mostly through the eyes of the mother and the father and their situation, how they met when they had kids, what happened to where the dad abandoned the family, and how the mom is now a single mother raising all of these kids. I love that part of it because what happens between their mom and dad, it's juicy, okay? I also really feel bad for the mom. That's really all I have because the way this is laid out is one day and it will be like 8 a.m., noon, 7 p.m. Well, I haven't gotten to 7 p.m. yet, but you get what I'm saying. And then in between, it goes back and talks about their mom and dad. I have no idea where this book is gonna go, but I'm telling you, the information about the mom and dad and their whole history, it was enticing enough to where I want to keep reading. I'm excited to get into it, so that's what I'm gonna do. Page 275 in Malibu Rising. It is primarily, I feel like, focusing on Nina and what she's going through in her personal life, as well as the fact that for a while there she has been taking care of her family, so she kind of feels like she's never really done anything for herself. And then we have something going on with the two brothers, which again, juicy. But then we have Kit, the younger sister, and still I just like don't care for her storyline. It's all about finding a guy to be with and like make out with at this party. I don't understand it, but anyways, the party is just weird. It is like an insane party where there's a lot of drugs going around, people are breaking things, there are fights, but one thing I do like about the party is that we are getting like these little short stories, and I mean short, like a page or two, about these random characters. So you'll have one chapter that's just about this guy that's hitting on a waitress and then they end up hooking up. You have another one about this girl who her ex is at this party and she's trying to avoid him. Will I remember these characters? No.
To say it, I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street. I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man.
Do I feel like they have an important part of the story? No, but I think it keeps it interesting to have these little short stories in there, and I kind of like it. Besides that, it's still just a people-driven story because that's what all of her books are. So there's a lot of drama unfolding, but it's still not boring. It is so interesting to me. There is a little, what is it called? A little pop-up of Carrie Sodto. A little, what is that word? Anyways, Carrie Sodto is in here for like a little bit, and it's so funny what she does in here, and I actually like seeing her. I don't know why, but I love when characters from one book pop up in another, because it's just like that little, hey, I know you type of moment. And another thing that's so interesting is how she writes these to where if you read this one and not Carrie Sodto, it is a spoiler, but at the same time, when what happens in here is mentioned in Carrie Sodto's book, it is so glossed over. So it's like either way you would know what happens no matter which one you read first, if this is making sense. So that's why I feel like you don't have to read any of them in a particular order, because in Carrie Sodto it's mentioned but it's kind of glossed over, but in here it involved a character that's more prevalent to this story, so it's actually talked about more in here. I'm hoping this is making sense. But anyways, I'm enjoying it. I don't think I'm liking it as much as Carrie Sodto. After reading that one, I know the last 25% could get crazy, so I'm interested to see how it wraps up. Okay, so I did finish this up. I really enjoyed it just because there's something about her characters being famous in some of her books that it just feels like you're reading the tabloids, honestly. You're seeing the behind the scenes of how crazy these celebrities' lives actually are, and I enjoy that part of it. In the end of this one though, I feel like the Riva family, they just all kind of got closure about their father. Nina has finally realized that she needs to do something for herself. All of her siblings are adults now, so she doesn't need to worry about them. It has a lot of underlying themes about different family dynamics. It also talks about the fact that whatever path your parents choose does not mean that you are destined to go down that same path. And as well as the fact that sometimes you have to absolutely destroy yourself in order to build yourself back up. Look at me, getting all philosophical and shit. I swear TJR has made me gain like 2 more brain cells. So now I have a total of 4. Thank you, TJR. I just feel like this one, the ending wasn't as clear cut for me. It wasn't 1000% what I really wanted. And I also don't really wholly know the point. Like, I think I know the point, but I don't know if I actually know the point of this book. But it was entertaining enough. I do think it's just a 4-star, not a 5 though, like Carrie Sodto was, because I just didn't really connect to any of these characters. I did feel bad for them. They went through a lot, but yeah, that was it. That was this one. Now though, I do actually think I'm gonna start another book. This time, After I Do is Calling My Name. Yesterday, I was able to make it 25% of the way through After I Do. In this book, we are following Lauren. Lauren met her husband Ryan when they were in college. We get their meet cute and how they met, when they first started dating, when they moved in together, when they got engaged, when they got married. Very, very quickly in the beginning, because like I've mentioned already in her other books, she does do the pacing quite quickly, but I love that. Now we're at the point in their life where they have been married, I just read this last night, 11 years maybe? I think 11 years. They just hate each other. They are constantly fighting about any and everything. They make up excuses to not have to be in the same room, can't even agree on what to eat for dinner. Like, it is terrible. Somewhere along the way, things just went very wrong. In order to try and save their marriage, they both decide that they are going to separate for a year and then come back together. This premise is very, very interesting. I'm looking forward to see what happens, because where I'm at now, like, he literally just moved out of their home together. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. A whole year of not living together and part of this arrangement is that they can date other people, which boggles my mind, because if the whole point of separating is to fix your marriage, is so that you can come back together after the year and be together, why would you be dating other people?
The woman was too stunned to speak.
I don't know. Also, I would literally crash out if I was Lauren. I would be going nuts. I would be following this man everywhere trying to see if he actually ends up hooking up with another woman.
Hello. You?
Like, I would be going insane. But anyways, that's really all I have for you. That's what's going on. I'm assuming they're gonna get a happy ever after. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of excited to see what happens. I think it'll be interesting. Maybe Lauren will go and I don't know. Like, what is this book gonna be? Is it just gonna be her living by herself, doing mundane everyday things? It very well could be. TJR would still make that interesting, because I know I've also said this a few times in this video probably, but it's like not much is happening in these books, but they're still so good. So don't take that as a bad thing. It's just that her books are people driven, you know? I'm gonna keep reading, see what's up with our girl Lauren. I'm rooting for her because I would be in shambles. I have made it to page 252 of After I Do. We are seeing Lauren do things on her own and find herself. And I don't mean like she's going out being a party girl now that she's single or separated or whatnot. No, she's just like doing little hobbies. She's making new friends, spending time with her family, because she is raised by her mom, who's a single mom, and her grandmother is a big part of her life. So I like seeing her interactions with them. Although I will say Granny needs to chill out, because at one point her grandmother literally said,
I don't understand why you guys are doing this. Did he cheat on you? Or did he hate you? No? Then why are you breaking up?
as if those are the only two reasons why you wouldn't leave a relationship. Okay, grandma. Another aspect of this that I like is that we are seeing a lot of her sister Rachel, and Rachel is single, and at one point it feels like the whole family kind of gangs up on her and like tells her,
oh, you'll meet the right person when you meet them.
And the issue is that she doesn't care that she's single, but everyone around her makes a big deal about her being single, but she's happy to be single. How many times did I say single? I think that's a great marriage isn't the cure-all be-all of happiness, and just because it's a common thing that people do doesn't mean you have to do it. Same thing with kids. I'm not gonna get on that topic.
Girl, fuck them kids and fuck you too.
I'm liking it a lot. I'm still just, I can't wrap my head around the fact that they're seeing other people. I just can't. Because also, like, in my brain and my own personal beliefs too, is that once you get married, like, your body should only be seen and touched by your spouse.
That's my opinion!
Unless you're in an open marriage. You know what I mean? But they're not. Another thing that I really like is that we are only in Lauren's point of view. We get an insight to how Ryan is feeling and what he's doing, because this part is so funny. He is like typing out email drafts to Lauren, but he's not sending them. He's just typing them out in his drafts, kind of like a little journal entry, and we get to read those. Lauren signed into his email. Anyways, sees all of the drafts, so she's reading these letters without him even knowing. That's so girl-coded, because I feel like that's something any of us would do. That's just a small bit that I like, and I also like that it allows us to, like I said, see what Ryan's up to. Because I want to know, what is this man doing? Who is this man doing? I'm enjoying it. Don't know what's going to happen in the last 25%, but we will see. I finished it. I think I like this better than Malibu Rising. I'm gonna right off the bat say I think I'm gonna give this a 4.5. It wasn't a 5-star. I know a lot of people probably will disagree with me on that because I don't hear many people talk about this one, but I have heard a lot about Malibu Rising. I like this one more. And the ending, it did wrap up nicely, which I liked. Another thing that I noticed at the very end is that our characters really did progress. I wasn't sure how them being separated was gonna fix them when they came back together. As it turned out, they were able to take a step back, look at themselves and say,
this is what I did wrong. This is how I can fix it.
Because in the beginning of the book, they were really just blaming each other for all of their problems and not taking accountability. But then they finally did. They were able to finally show some gratitude for one another for things that maybe they didn't even realize that they would miss until those things were gone. I did really enjoy this story. I think it's a beautiful story too. Would I recommend going on a year break if you and your partner are having issues? Absolutely not. No way would I do that.
Nobody asked.
It was an interesting read, and I'm gonna say it again. I know I've probably said it for every book, but she knows how to take your everyday average Joe going through something very mundane and make it so interesting. Like, I couldn't put this book down. So there's that one. And now we are on to the final book, which is going to be Daisy Jones and the Six. I'm not starting it tonight. I'm gonna start it tomorrow. My only issue is that I have watched the entire show because I just couldn't wait the second it came out. Love the actors in there. Suki Waterhouse particularly. I really hate rereading books, and I don't like to read something if I've already seen the movie or the show, and sometimes I don't even like to watch movies if I've already read the book. But I feel like it has been a long time, so maybe I'll be okay to read this. We'll just have to see. But not right now. Tomorrow we'll see. I just read the first 102 pages of Daisy Jones and the Six. I feel like everyone and their mother already knows about this book, but I'll tell you anyways. We are following Daisy Jones and the Six. The Six is a band. It's made up of, oh gosh, Billy, Karen, Ed? Is his name Ed? Graham.
Bombastic side eye.
Why are you stomping? You always come down when I'm literally about to be done.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Nothing. Me? Just hanging around. You can proceed.
I don't wanna now. Don't look at me. Now I don't remember what I was saying.
You were saying that Daisy Jones died or something.
In this book, we are following Daisy Jones and the Six. They are a popular band back in the 80s. However, they did end up splitting up, but no one knows why until now. It's years later, and all of the members are finally doing an interview. So this entire book is predominantly written in interview format. And you do get to see Daisy on her own before she ever meets the band members. You get to see the band members and how they even formed one before Daisy came along. And it's a lot of their personal lives as well, because the main singer of the Six before Daisy came along is Billy. And Billy and his wife slash girlfriend Camilla, you're seeing a lot of their issues and the things that have been going on while he's been traveling on the road. That's all I really have. I will say, because I watched the TV show, I have no interest in reading this right now because I literally know everything that's going to happen in here. And so far, it does feel like it's very similar to the TV show. I'm not going to be able to read this. I can already feel it because I hate rereading things. So I'll try again and see how it goes.